Follow me. An important words that we see in the Bible. This phrase is mainly often spoken by Jesus. He called his disciples with these words, follow me. We too follow Christ. We are also his disciples, following Christ through the vocation that we have received. Be a Christian. We also follow many other things in the world. And the world is also calling us to follow different ideologies, different groups, different religious ideologies, social media, and there is a common invitation to follow many things. While following Christ, while being the disciple of Christ, can we follow any other path, ideology, or any other thing that is totally contrary to the vocation that we have received from Christ? Therefore, we need to always have an evaluation of ourselves. What do I follow? What do I gain by following those things? Especially if you go to the Facebook, the social media, it appears follow. There are different groups, different things that keep on calling us to follow. The devil is calling in different forms to follow him. Sometimes we are not conscious of those things. We are not aware of those things. At first look, first appearance, those things may not seem as something bad. What happened to Eve when she saw the forbidden tree, the fruits of that tree were very attractive, pleasing. Without her knowledge, she followed it. She went behind it and she ate it. And also she gave it to her own husband. Without her knowledge, without proper understanding, because of the attraction that she had, she fell into sin. The vocation given by God to follow him, to be faithful to him, was broken. There became a gap between God and man. Today, Jesus is calling Matthew, a tax collector, who was considered a sinner. Jesus is calling him, follow me. It is a call for a new life, a call for a renewal. A sinner who was not accepted in the Jewish community. He was serving the Roman Empire. He was collecting tax. Sometimes they had to charge more than, but they had to charge. So people began to hate them, reject them, cornered them. They were considered as sinners, and you should not have any relationship with them. Look at what Jesus thinks and what Jesus does. Jesus comes to the place where Matthew was seated. All other people came to pay tax, and fulfill their responsibilities and duties. But Jesus is coming with a different intention, and he is calling Matthew, "Follow me." The gospel says, immediately he got up and followed Jesus. He had no question to ask for explanation. He did not have time to have a long discussion with Jesus about what is going to happen in the future, what he will gain in the future. Now he has enough money. Now he has enough authority to control others. He had power to control. Now, if you go behind Jesus, already Jesus was the target by the Pharisees, Sadducees, and high priests. They wanted to kill him. We read at the very first day when Jesus began his ministry in Galilee, people began to plot against him, tried to kill him. Now, to follow a person like that in that particular society was very challenging. But Matthew had the courage to leave everything, to leave his position, money, wealth, and the power that he had. He was prepared to leave everything and follow Jesus, who preached and said that I am the way, I am the life, I am the light, and follow me. We hear his word in our hearts. Do we reflect these words? We have already decided to follow him. Sometimes we didn't decide. Our parents decided on behalf of us on the day of our baptism. Now, as we learnt many things about Christ, as we began to develop a relationship with him, as we began to experience him in the sacraments, what is my attitude in following Jesus? Look at Matthew. When Jesus called him, he followed him. Then he went to the house of Matthew and began to have a celebration, a meal, where Matthew had invited his friends. All were tax collectors, sinners, and people outside like Pharisees, Sadducees, and all began to criticize Jesus. They asked his disciples, "Why does your master is having meals with the sinners?" And the beautiful words Jesus tells, "A physician is needed for the sick." If you feel that you are well, healthy, you don't need a physician. And he says, Son of Man came to search for the sinners, to change their lives. And also he says, I prefer mercy, not sacrifice. Therefore, look at today, we have a complete gospel of Jesus. From his birth to his resurrection, we have a detailed gospel written by Matthew. How did Matthew write these things? He responded to the vocation, to the call. When Jesus asked him to follow, he followed him, and he had experience with Jesus. He stayed with Jesus. He developed a personal, intimate relationship with Jesus, and he was able to write a complete gospel. Your journey, my journey with Jesus, your relationship, my relationship with Jesus, also call for a gospel of our own experience to speak who Christ is, who Jesus is in my life. So Jesus calls all of us, follow him. Let us follow